hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Hello everybody, welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty, this is episode 43. I'm joined tonight by John. John, how you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm bro, mate, bro. Just in for a wee walk. Just, as we were saying before we came on air, went through the park and some kids had drawn big cocks on the pavement, so all good.
Do you think there's any truth in the, I don't know if it's an urban legend or not, that if you draw a cock around a pothole, the council will immediately come out and fill it in?
I think we should try it. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity in the Fife roads anyway. Like
so you're Fife council, Colin, you're Edinburgh council, and I'm West Lothian.
Midlothian. Yeah.
So we should each go out with a can of spray paint and draw the biggest cock that we can around the pothole, and I'm sure you'll find a pothole easily enough.
And report back. With some of the Fife women, they'd get to it before the council did. Try to get it in their mouth. So it's said anyway, rumoured there. No worry, obviously. Right, well, we'll get some questions. I'll call on tonight. I really just never introduced you at all, Colin. Hello, how are you doing?
Just never present now. No, I'm all right. Thanks for asking. It's too nice a night to be doing this. I was sitting in the garden all afternoon.
Well, it's been nice all day. They came out is over in Bonnyrigg, but it's dulled over and got a bit windy here. I was out in my shorts and I regretted it. Not as much as if folks saw me right enough, but
no, it's still a nice night, but it's no sunny as it was this afternoon. No, it's lovely.
It was lovely all day today. Right, we've got a few questions to get through, and we're going to try and get this done in under an hour tonight for anybody listening. So you can stay at the end instead of dropping off after 10-15 minutes. First question comes in from TG Willis, and he did actually address this to the Longbangers account. There's a typo in it, so it was just by luck that I saw it and bookmarked it. Unless there is a Longbangers, somebody else that does similar questions. But why do rugby players never wear the socks over their knee, as has become popular with some of their football counterparts? Colin, you're probably best placed to answer this.
Aye. Well, I played rugby a number of years ago now, but football players weren't doing the sock thing then. It's just a fashion thing, isn't it? With the football players, there's no reason for it. I think rugby players, there's a lot more movement in the socks because you're rolling about the ground a bit more and diving into things. Football players are trying to keep themselves warm. Football players are trying to keep themselves warm because at times they're not moving about as much as in rugby. You're constantly on the move. Football, if you're a defender and you're attacking, then you're just standing still. So I assume it's to keep their knees warm.
John, are you a fan of the rolled up socks? Or do you prefer the rolled into the shins ones?
I'm not sure because
that's different socks they wear. Like, do you think him and the sort of Jack Grealish want to show the calves off? He's got like kids socks or socks that don't fit his size, his feet. Whereas the other ones, I've got ones that are like if you're a size 10, they're wearing size 12 socks. But Jack Grealish is a size 10, but wearing size 7s or something.
He's got the beard ones on. I think can.
So how does the size of your socks? Are they based on? They've surely got to be based on the size of your feet rather than the length of them.
Aye, but I assume it'd be a bit of both, but I don't know because. No, well, I don't know. If you've got smaller feet, then doesn't it automatically mean you've got smaller legs? I suppose.
I think the thing.
What are we talking about?
The boy asked.
I think the thing with the socks as well is that the guys that wear them down around their ankles are usually the guys that wear like the smaller shin pads, like they're trying to stay nimble. They're meant to be players, but then Alex Goget just strutting about, and I think he's basically got a sliver, a thin bit of plastic in his socks, and I wouldn't say that he was necessarily the most skillful of footballers.
Gogic is doing it to show how hard he is. So like, he's not giving a fuck if somebody comes and kicks his shins. He's like, when you go, I'm hard as fuck. I don't mind. Is it Thierry Henry that started the above the knee thing? He started wearing them high, didn't he? And I don't know if anybody did it before. He probably looked for a wee gimmick. Cantona had the collar up, and Henry's probably looking at his strap going, "Fuck, can I do to get kids to copy me?" I know, pull my socks up. And that was it.
Yeah.
It's a bit. I don't know. It's one of those things that folk end up talking about in football that's got absolutely no bearing on the football that's taking place. Like remember, snoods were quite fashionable for a while for players to be wearing. and then they had to ban them because they said, I don't know, did they say it was like a choking hazard or something?
I think so. Well, I think who's trying to eat them. Right, Alex, the next question actually ties in quite well with that bit of chat. Does Graham Lasso, him that used to play for Chelsea, know that his name translated from French to Scottish is Graham the Socks?
He's quite an intelligent guy. I think he probably did.
Did he read, what was the chat about him? Like he read The Economist or The Times or something in the changing room?
The Guardian, I think, isn't it?
Guardian. I read The Guardian. Does that make me a wanker as well?
I know. I read it. That's it. But in the days, football players couldn't be intelligent and all that. So they got dogs abuse for it.
It's like Pat Nevin. He's still lauded as one of the most intelligent footballers ever, isn't he? And I think he just had like a degree. It's like just a degree. It's not like it's easy to get a degree, but there's few and far between.
That's easy to get a degree nowadays, though. Maybe not in the days.
I can't mind who heard this. Oh, Jack Grealish was on the radio after the England game, so I was going my way to pick up Josh, and I had on BBC Radio 5, and I think if it's just the Birmingham accent or if it is thick as fuck, but he sounded. Do you know, some folk just sound thick as fuck, and I think we've got a cheek on this podcast talking about that, right? So I accept that already. Jack Grealish. I was like, he is a fucking. He's done well for himself, and I'm not criticising the boy, but that accent doesn't lend itself well. Graham Lasso didn't sound thick. He sounded quite intelligent as well, didn't he? Quite a posh accent and that. Bet his name wasn't really Graham Lasso. I bet he changed that to make him sound more posh than he was. His name probably was Graham the Socks, or the Soaks, if you want to change it to proper Scottish. Right, Lucy Van Pelt. How happy are we that despite our so-called arrangement with Brighton, they're still sending their best players to other teams such as Hove Albion?
Oh, Hibs and me getting a bit of stick for this, eh?
Aye, what do you make of that?
The stick or the players that are moving about?
Well, start with the stick, and then we'll talk about the players.
The stick, I'm not. It seems to have become quite fashionable for folk to just have a crack at Hibs for anything. Like anything, it's almost like if the Hibs official Twitter feed puts something out, there will just be a stream of people on the back of it going, delete this, this is shite, what the fuck is this? And it's becoming tiresome. I've actually been contemplating just chucking Twitter altogether or having a break for it for a while because it's, I don't know, it's maybe just the state of the world, but it transmits into other things like Hibs. Politics, like I want to look at Twitter and have a bit of a laugh. Like I like Fattest Pricket's tweets, like with his Yas Hibs or fucking Yas Germany or whoever it happens to be. I like that sort of chat. I like the fucking stupid things. Like remember a few years ago there was the boy got in touch with Tesco about their dodgy donuts and they came back to him and said, which store was it in? And he goes, I'm not a grass. That's fucking priceless. I'm fucking fed up with politics and who's getting the vaccine and who's not getting the vaccine, and the fucking woman that does my Botox says that I shouldn't get it. Go and get that to fuck and get back to just having a fucking laugh.
Aye. There was one laddie just on that kind of the Tesco one that complained to the load of buses. I'm sure it was a driver that called him a fanny, and they said which service he says, "Oh no, it doesn't matter. To be fair, I was being a wee fanny."
More content like that, please.
Aye. See, the thing with Twitter, right, is choose who you be picky with who you follow. I think that's the key to it, is follow accounts that you like, and the ones that are annoying, either scroll right past them or just mute them or block them or whatever, unfollow them, and then it's a much better experience. That's what I started doing.
So I've done my best to. I've not gone down the route of unfollowing people or muting people or whatever. Like there is certain words and people. So like Boris Johnson, permanent mute. Donald Trump was on a permanent mute. I think I've maybe put COVID vaccine needs to go on mute. But the timeline is still just full of shit.
Aye, that's it. Was it no that when they signed the boy for St Mirren the other day for supplies, or apparently that doesn't look like Lee Griffiths, or that doesn't sound like Lee Griffiths, or something like that. You know,
Aye.
For fuck's sake, it's just toxic. The place. It's an echo chamber as well. Like you only get to hear. Like I like reading other papers away from my political beliefs, so that you get to hear the other side of the argument. Whereas on there, as soon as somebody disagrees with you, they try and cancel you. You know what I mean? It's like they just, that's you. You're done. Fully sanctimonious cunts. As far as I'm concerned, I just didn't like the place.
It's a fucking wonder we've not been cancelled yet. I wonder how that happens.
What do you mean? We? It's you that runs the account.
Well, me. Still. But in its defence, like I love Twitter. Like I say, if you're picky with the ones that you engage with, Twitter's brilliant, and there are some, especially in the Hibs community. For all that there's folk who will just go in and slightly, get the club abuse. There are loads of folk who tweet fucking brilliant stuff. Like there was, you talking about the signing, Doyle Hayes, is that his name?
Jedward. My mates called him Jedward.
Right. Oh, fucking hell, right.
Is that a bit harsh? Like, I want this boy,
Oh.
anyone that signs for Hibs that want to do well, is Jedward setting the boy up for failure because he's Irish, because he's got the Barnet?
Jedward's got connotations, because they were pricks. Jake Doyle Hayes, that's his name, isn't it?
Sounds right.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Right. Somebody, JD Hibs, I think. So Ewan, who was on Monday night, had retweeted it. I think the account was JD Hibs, and they had pulled stats together for Newell, Gogic, and Doyle Hayes for loads of different measures. They'd done heat maps, everything. It was fucking brilliant. Like looking at it, and you're going, "Oh, I started it gives a bit of context to the signing and why we might have signed the boy," and it totally changes your perspective for somebody who you've maybe seen 10 minutes of tops, unless you've been paying attention when we've played St Mirren. And stuff like that's brilliant. But there are some really, really funny Hibs Twitter accounts as well. Out of all the social media, what are they called? Apps. Twitter's by far and away my favourite. And there's some absolutely brilliant accounts out there.
And you got a whole show out of it, because I think, am I right? All the questions you've got here are from.
Aye. It would be fucked if anybody does cancel us off Twitter. I don't know what I put ideas in head. We're literally struggling for content.
Right. In the close season, at least.
Aye. Charlie from Strong Opinion Hibs, he asked if you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, which movie? John, you go first for this one.
Blazing Saddles.
Oh, by the way, that was on. That's one recently. I just downloaded it to watch. I've not watched it again yet, but it's a fucking great film.
Aye, I mind asking my mate a question, who's same sort of sense of humour as me, loves Blazing Saddles, Police Squad, all that sort of stuff, and I mind asking him about Blazing Saddles. Are good movies quotable, or are quotes what makes a good movie? If that makes sense.
No, doesn't make sense.
Doesn't matter. Well, anyway, Blazing Saddles really, really, really quotable. You could probably just replay the movie in your head, quoting the movie all the way through. It's just there's so many good lines in it that you can quote. It's almost like the entire script is a quote.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like the same with Naked Gun. It's just like every other line in Naked Gun or Airplane is a gag. It's just like constant boom, boom, boom. And it's superb. What about you, Colin?
I'm not really a big film buff.
Do you like wee films?
Shorts.
I've never even seen Star Wars. Like, so.
Do you know what? I got criticised by a boy that I used to work beside. I confessed that I hadn't seen Star Wars, and this was before you'd had the most recent ones. It was just like the 6. So you had your, what was it, 4, 5, and 6, and then they brought 1, 2, and 3 out, like Attack of the Clones and that sort of shit. And the boy said, "What kind of man are you that you've not seen Star Wars?" So I made a point, and I went away and watched Star Wars, and I think it was it must have been episode 5 or 6 or whatever, however it's numbered. But it's the second and third of the original 3, and I fell asleep during them. And I persevered. I woke up and I'd pick up from where I left off, and I'd fall asleep and I'd pick up from where I left off. And honestly, I don't know why I bothered. And I know, like, listen, there's folk out there, Matty obviously loves Star Wars. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I want to understand what makes it the franchise, the fucking geek fest that it is, because it's not even that I didn't like sci-fi shit. I like my sci-fi shit. That just doesn't get me. I don't get it.
I think it's so when it came out, obviously it wasn't the first sci-fi film or film set in space that had ever been out, but it was the best one. It was like totally groundbreaking. Special effects were groundbreaking. The story was great. The thing about the Force and all the rest of it. And if you were a kid of that era who had seen it, I mean, that was Star Wars toys. Can you mates would play with Star Wars toys when we were wee? You watched the films every Christmas they were on. The first thing we used to do, came when it was Christmas when you were wee, your mum and dad got the TV Times or the Radio Times, and you would see what was on the TV. You look for when Star Wars was on. It was on every fucking Christmas, and it was brilliant,
Still is.
absolutely brilliant. And then you just grew up with it. It was one of those films that just permeated into culture. Like, even though you've never seen it, you would ken who Darth Vader was, or you would ken a quote, or you would ken who fucking Yoda was. Do you know what I mean? It just seeped into culture.
Ken, what other film I could watch forever is Spaceballs. You seen that?
Well, Spaceballs is just the Star Wars spoof.
Yep. I know. That's the fucking
Dark Helmet.
stupid thing. Aye, Dark Helmet. Use the Schwartz.
It's another Mel Brooks one, though, isn't it? Spaceballs.
Yep.
Like Blazing Saddles. I would go with there's a few probably Airplane, because that's probably a film that I've seen over and over and over again. But I tell you what, I've been watching loads of recently. It's a South Park movie.
Oh, I've been watching a lot of South Park episodes on Netflix.
So I put on, if I'm struggling to sleep, I'll put on probably about 10 minutes, and probably after the Uncle Fucker song, I'll be sleeping. Or no quite at the end of that, when Eric asks Mr. Garrison if he'd like to suck his balls. That's probably the point of when I get to that.
When it gets the megaphone
it, and says it. That's probably my favourite bit of the film, and then I'll just fall asleep after that. You seen it, Colin?
No. Name a film, and I bet I've not seen it.
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Aye.
You need to get in your movies, mate.
Nah, it's just time. I'm too see, I've got stuff on the planner down there, and it's like 3 hours or 2.5 hours of film, and you're like, fuck, we never got 2.5 hours to sit and watch something.
Is that because you got kids?
The kids are a bit older now, so it's just, I suppose I can't be arsed. By the time I get round to it at night, but I'd be like, I'll put this on now, I'm going to be here at 12:30. Or, okay, so just...
I'm at an age where I'll sleep through them there, though. Which is like when I was younger, I could watch maybe 3 or 4 films on the spin and no think about falling asleep. Now, even if it's like a long TV show, I'll have at least maybe 5 minutes there where I'm like...
getting the nudge off the way.
Aye.
You stop fucking snoring.
You sleeping? No. Wind it a bit. Right, next question. Matt says, why is room temperature used as a measurement of warmth when not all rooms have the same temperature? Who knows if this has been asked?
Do you know, I was flicking through Twitter earlier, ironically enough. I fucking hate the thing, but I was flicking through it, and there's a feed that I follow, and I think it's things I learned on Reddit or whatever, and it was saying that over the last 150 years, the human body temperature has reduced about 1.3 degrees or something. That was Fahrenheit. I can't remember the exact numbers. It was like 98.3 down to 97 degrees Fahrenheit or something. And I wonder if that was the body's response to global warming. Like, I wonder if you can put 2 graphs side by side of the planet heating up and the human body temperature coming down.
I don't know. You think they would both go up, if the planet was getting warmer? I suppose the body would adjust it the other way.
Aye, so what's human body temperature? It's meant to be like the sort of safe zones. Like
36 to 37, round about that figure, I think.
Aye. So, I don't know.
But room temperature, it's like, it definitely has changed over the years, though, because like red wine, everybody goes on. I'm not a wine expert at all, but there's some folk now who chill red wine.
Yeah.
Despite historically, it's always been red wine would be room temperature and white wine would be chilled. But red wine was room temperature when rooms were much colder, and folk didn't have central heating and all the rest of it. So folk will now put red wine in the fridge for a wee bit, maybe not to the same degree that they would for white wine, but
everyone was just sitting in their 1-bedroom cottage, lying amongst the sheep, keeping warm.
Aye. Right, Alex said, if you eat so much food that you need a wee lie down after it, should we call that fatigue with a capital F-A-T, right? So fatigue. We'd obviously need to find a new word for the current meaning of fatigue, but we can worry about that later. I think that's a decent shout, by the way. Of all the shouts that Alex has had, normally about shortening plurals, etc., fatigue definitely is one that could be adopted.
Yep.
Can I suggest, purely because the difficulty that I had with Alan's Bakery on Wrestle Rig Road with the tea being silent, can we spell fatigue?
With
FAT-TIGUE. So you enunciate the T's.
Is that how you? What you think someone's going to call it fatigue? Like with no mention
No,
of the T?
I just, it makes sense to me that you enunciate fatigue.
There's only got one T in it, though, isn't there?
You're adding a T.
Aye, no.
And
but
a hyphen. That's taking longer to write out and everything. You're already tired by the because you've had so much food. Extra writing to do.
I know, but you're never going to write fucking fatigue down when you've got in stuffed with your Christmas dinner or your Friday night dinner.
You're sitting there, somebody say, "What's wrong with you?" You can't be asked. So you've got a wee chalkboard or a whiteboard or something. What it'd be these days. You just have it pre-written. Fatigue.
If only one of us had a whiteboard that we could write fatigue down on, just to see the difference.
I tell you, the predictive text on your phone would have a nightmare, Matthew.
Oh fuck! I wouldn't cope with that at all.
You ever seen Matty write something out on his phone? Like his finger just whizzes about the screen. Like I'm still old school on the button, like looking for.
I'll show you on Saturday, call if you know. Have you ever seen the Simpsons where Homer's got his jaw wired shut and he has to have a wee whiteboard to communicate, so he can't speak because I can't remember what happens to him if he's in an accident or whatever. But anyway, he ends up with his jaw wired shut, and Marge asks him something, and he answers no, and writes it out. And then she asks him another question, and he rubs out and writes no again. I could love that. It's just genius. Right, Ricky says, can you remember if Hibs ever had a player on trial and signed them that done well? So there was a few answers on Twitter on this one.
When did they do well at Hibs, or have they just gone on to do well?
So did well at Hibs, I would take it. So they've come for a trial and then did well.
What's his name? Did Regat come in a trial, or did he even do well at Hibs? Because mind he missed that sitter in the derby, and then kind of just left to go to Celtic.
Regat was brilliant at Hibs. He did miss the.
They only done a few weeks, eh?
So 3-month deal. We signed him on. So thinking if you count that as a trial or just a very, very short-term contract, but he scored that goal against Dundee. He took it for about half and skinned about 12 of their players. Ken, there was folk coming on to try and beat him, and he was still going past them. Latape was on trial, which is mental. Latape was brought in on trial. I don't know if it was like a come in and we'll see how fit you are. But somebody tweeted about it. And apologies to whoever replied because I can't remember. But McLeish took him off before half time in case anybody else saw him. Because obviously we saw what he was like. And was like, fucking. Boozy was another answer. Boozy was on trial with us.
Okay, now.
And he was good.
So that's a yes to the question then.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing Philippe Murray for the first time when he was on trial and then signed him? Like I remember him warming up, taking some balls in and hitting some crosses and what have you, and thinking, who the fuck is this boy? And like, are we going to sign him? And then he turned out to be a bit fucking average, to be honest.
Aye. He did the typewriter celebration. He scored the goal and it was something to go to Keyboard Warriors. But I actually think the Keyboard Warriors were right long term about him. He ended up in the Championship or somewhere in England. Actually played at a decent level, but
he was part of a giant killing side, or the so-called giant killing side.
They beat Chelsea.
Bradford beat Chelsea, was it?
Aye. Right, Alistair Taylor, in a library, should the Bible be in the fiction or non-fiction section? This is where we get cancelled finally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fiction.
all the Christian fundamentalists coming out of the woodwork.
Can you imagine a Christian fundamentalist lasting 43 episodes of this? Unless they found us just by accident, 43 was the first one that they stumbled upon.
See, this is why we need to start naming Shortbangers episodes Bible fiction. Put that on YouTube and watch the numbers go through the fucking roof. Should it be in fiction or non-fiction?
I would say so. Is there any evidence?
It's fiction, isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah. Well, it is fiction, do you know? No offence to anybody who's right into it all.
So Dynamo stuff, eh? Like Dynamo replicated it on his TV show.
We did a lot of it, aye.
You've not seen South Park the movie, but you've watched everything by Dynamo.
Aye, Dynamo Sky One. Aye, it's only an hour at a time, eh? You fast forward the adverts, you're 45 minutes.
You laugh. I saw the one when he did the Walking on Water on the Thames.
Aye, done that. He done the water. That wasn't the water into wine, but it was like water into Pepsi Max or Pepsi Max into water. He done
It's like
fish out of a bucket.
Jesus with a sponsorship deal, wasn't he?
Aye, and he had the beard and everything. Oh, he done the thing at Christ the Redeemer. He levitated and all that. He was like totally taking a piss out of the whole Bible. Just proving that Jesus or whoever was actually just like an illusionist.
Well,
I don't doubt he existed, but he was like the original Dynamo. And,
Hang on,
so
are
they
you
got a bit
saying
of him.
Dynamo is the reincarnation, the second coming of Christ?
No.
no.
I'm just saying he's copying what this boy done all the years ago to make up the whole legacy.
Aye. I'll not get started on the whole religion thing. So I will offend somebody. So, Cal Chalmers said, "What will happen first? English commentators stop talking about 66, or Hearts finish their main stand?"
Aye. Well, the danger is to stop talking about 66 because they win the fucking thing, eh?
Because
that's true.
And that's the danger. Because I work with a lot of English folk, and they're sure that it's just who they're getting in the final. As much as they're trying to play that, you know, and I think totally dismissing Denmark and the Ukraine, obviously they've got to get through first.
It's written in the stars for Denmark to win it. You know, I think after what happened in their first game with Ericsson, and they're a good team. So it's not even like they need that motivation. They're a good team.
Are Denmark still in it?
Aye, Denmark are in it. They're looking.
Play Czech Republic on Saturday night.
They're looking good. I think if I can't see England beating Belgium or Italy, whoever goes through there, that's probably where the winner will come from if it's no Denmark. That's my prediction.
What's the tie? You know the way that the wall chart's lined up. Who's the tie in the bottom left? Because you've got Italy, Belgium, top left. You've got Germany,
Switzerland, Spain. Switzerland, Spain's at 5 o'clock tomorrow, aye. And then Belgium, Italy, and then they play each other in the semi-final, the winners. And then it's Czech Republic, Denmark, and then England, Ukraine. I fancy Italy to go through against Belgium. And you've got to fancy Spain to go through against Switzerland. Spain are a bit dodgy.
Belgium, you consider they're managed by a boy that used to play for Motherwell and Sean Maloney. You know.
I know. And Thierry Henry.
The
man that invented the sock over the knee. Back the full circle.
Okay, right. Cal Chalmers again, despite having 2 women and 3 kids, what do you think the odds are of Matt Hancock still being a massive virgin? He looks like the sort who would cry after sex, doesn't he?
Do you think that's what he was doing in the news that morning?
Aye.
He just pumped.
He just had his Nat King the night before.
or just in the office. He just pumped the assistant, and then he went out to talk about the vaccine.
Can't believe my luck. A vaccine and a ride, both within 24 hours.
That was brutal, the greeting on the.
Oh, it was cringes, yeah.
And so fake.
That's a problem with the mainstream media in general, I think, towards the Royals and the Conservative Party. And it's just the way that they allow the stage management to go on. So have you seen like the Tory power stance? How the fuck was that not ridiculed? Like, did you ever? It was. You've seen. It was. It came out recently, so you saw it was Sajid Javid, so the new health secretary. Someone had posted the picture of him standing outside a building. Honestly, look, if you Google it, you'll find Tory power stance. Theresa May was doing it. There was a whole bunch of Tories that were doing it, and then you've got the Royals as well, and just all the shit that they get up to. And it's just like, this is brilliant. No one ever says, "What the fuck are you playing at?"
Aye.
Or the dissenting voices, rather, the people like ourselves who go, "What the fuck are you playing at?" You never hear about it.
You just get ignored. Sajid Javid, do you remember the song Brimful of Asha by Corner Shop?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's mentioned in that. I'm not going to sing it, but there's a line that sounds just like Sajid Javid. So if you go back and listen to it, they might be predicting the future.
I do feel a bit sorry for Hancock, though. He's been totally carved up by Boris. He couldn't sack him, so forced him into a place, switching dodgy cameras on, so that he had to resign.
Do you think it was an inside job? Like someone stuck the wee pinhole camera in the
100%
smoke detector.
Yeah, I've watched House of Cards and that. Yeah.
So why do you think they bought rid of him? Why do you think it's just because they've known that he's been up to something, and because
hopeless.
of the it's just like, why not just sack him? Why not just say you're fucking hopeless? Out.
Aye, because of the vaccine thing, he was getting a lot of the credit for that.
Well, they did call him hopeless, didn't they? Like Cummins released it or said about how he was how he was hopeless and they thought he was shite, but he just fucking rode it out. I think they just needed a good enough reason to go, you're sacked, so that it didn't
And a fair wasn't enough. And a fair wasn't enough.
Do you think
it had to be COVID rule break affair because he's the health secretary to set the rule? Because Boris Johnson had more affairs than anybody, so he couldn't do it for that one either.
Do you think it's I think it's not a stitch up. Do you think it's, again, is it carefully managed in order to get them out the door? Because you guys are long enough in the tooth like me to have seen enough politicians to get emptied for whatever it happens to be, and then 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the line, suddenly they're back in the cabinet again.
He'll be back in before long. I think the Tory party are more or less untouchable now, and like you look at the stuff that they've done, billions, and you're talking like billions of fucking pounds to their friends or to themselves, and they can't bat an eyelid. The popularity is going up, which is fucking mental. It's just theft on a ridiculous fucking level. And so affairs in that are like, now they just say sorry. If they're lucky, they say sorry for it, or they go, it doesn't matter, we're trying to save the country. And then if you go, oh, fucking all right, and then just forget about it.
Try to save the country, I need my hole.
The thing with Hancock, that story leaked on the same day that Gove was found to have broke however many fucking laws for contracts and stuff, I'm sure. And they just swept it under
a useful day for it to come out.
Aye, just a distraction.
It was like that. Was it the Labour woman that got done on 9/11 later on because she'd says it's a good get the shite out the door now because it's a good day to take bad news.
Aye, exactly what it's like. Anyway, right. This is good. I mean, I said this is like QI. This show.
He turned this into a political show.
We've gone into fucking socks, so football fashion. We've gone into Twitter. We've gone into politics. It's like fucking bit everything. Something for every religion. You name it. We're fucking covering it. Right. Next serious topic from Leon. Where do all the missing socks go? Even if you just put 3 pairs of socks in the washing machine, one will go missing. So they do get sucked into the washing machine. Have you ever had to clear out the filter in a washing machine?
Yeah, too many times.
And did you find baubles, coins? Last time I had to do it, some stones, some coins, baubles, which I think were the culprit, a lot of hair, and a fucking sock. So,
do any of the ladies in your house, Matty, wear hairpins at all?
Oh, aye.
Because they tend to be in the filter.
Yep.
When I was going through the washing machine recently, I pulled the rubber seal back, and I found, is it Carmex? It's like a sort of lip moisturiser thing. There was poo bags. Both of them on mine. But they just get sucked into the filter, and I think there's probably a gap in everyone's memory, because in my house what we do is we leave all the odd socks in the bottom of the washing basket, the one that we either take outside when we're hanging up the washing or to bring up to the clothes horse. But we never ever seem to find the pair of them. So I know that they've been lost somewhere, but there's probably a point where you have the other sock, it's just somewhere else. It's like maybe it's in a drawer or something. You never go and find it. I know that's too rational. They're definitely there.
We've got a bag when they come out. Jane's got just a carrier bag that she'll put the odd socks in, and then if she finds another odd sock, she'll go to the bag. And
it's like a really shitey game of memory, isn't it?
Aye, it is. What you need is socks like mittens with the string. You just go up and so when you put them in the washing machine, it's like one will survive, and you can just follow the string to find the other one.
What if you were? Hang on. I've just had a wee idea. What if they weren't mittens, but you had one long bit of string off of either pair of sock or either sock, and you pulled them up the trouser leg, or you dropped it down the trouser leg, and you tied a wee knot at your waist, so kind of like a wee sock belt. Because if you had them as mittens, that's just like, I don't know, maybe is that easier? Is that more difficult? Am I complicating a already genius design?
I think you're complicating it. I just like the idea, like mittens where you could do this with your arms, but then the same with your legs. Fucking bro. You need to remember you were wearing them if you try to sprint or whatever. You need to make sure the attaching thread was.
Ken, what other socks are a pain in the arse, now that we're talking about it, are the wee ankle socks. They get caught up in the filter. They get lost. There are about 4,000 of them kicking about my house. None of them mine. and none of them are matched up.
They're bad for falling off your foot as well when you're wearing trainers. Do you like just at the back? They just end up
Aye,
under
the
your foot. You
trainer
have to
socks.
keep fucking
Aye.
sorting them.
There's certain types of trainers are all right, but other ones are just done the same. They're just
Aye.
before you know it, they're round at your toes, and you're like, "Fuck's sake."
And they're a
When-
bucket to get up over your knee as well.
When did we, as a race of people, decide that we wanted to show off more of our body by wearing ankle socks? When was the watershed that we said, no, let's burn the tops of our socks?
When you wear short socks, if you're wearing shorts and you have like traditional socks, it looks gimpy as fuck, doesn't it? Like,
Oh, it's back in fashion
well,
now.
it is, but also with sandals as well. Notice the boy wearing sandals with big white socks that came just fucking below his knee with his shorts. He wasn't playing football.
Maybe they were DVT socks. Maybe he was trying to combat a blood clot.
No, there would be Adidas ones. So
We Adidas ones, they
big
pulled up
Adidas
these
ones.
knees.
Aye. Right. Liam says, why does traffic jam?
Free will.
Where's Will like? And what's he got to do with it?
So there's a site. Well, I actually saw this question come in, and I remember seeing a video a while back, and it was talking about electric cars and how electric cars like Tesla, for example, the autonomous self-driving cars.
Yeah.
It was saying that if everyone had a self-driving car that was all hooked up to a single network, it would avoid traffic jams because all cars would drive at the same speed, they'd accelerate and decelerate the same, and blah blah blah. But before that is a reality, surely it's free will that means that cars, because say you and I are driving to the same place and we leave at the same time, Matty, Colin, or the three of us, we're all going to have different driving styles. And when you multiply that over so many different people, that's
So
it.
It comes from folk driving too close.
Yep.
Right. So I'm the front car and I'm going, say the speed limit, right? Going along the road. If the car behind me comes too close and has to brake, the car behind it sees the brake lights coming on, so slows, and it's like the knock-on effect is that everybody goes brake, 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 brake.
Yep.
Although nothing's fucking happened apart from some cunt driving too close to the car in front, you've got a situation where all the cars are braking, and depending on how close they are, if they have to brake heavily, then you get to the point where cars come at a standstill for fucking no reason, and then have to start moving off again, and just the time that takes, that's how they build up.
Here's a
Edinburgh City
question.
bypass is a great example of that.
Aye.
Oh, the fucking
rush hour.
bypass. Why is it that the bypass, when something goes wrong on the bypass, everything gets fucked up? Calder Road, A71, the M8, fucking
It's because of the cars
A89.
go off another way.
It's just fucked. I
Try to
fucking
find a
hate
way
the
home. I've done
bypass.
it myself before trying to come home. I think, fuck it, I'll nip off at Draycorn or something, and then you're just stuck in fucking traffic lights all everywhere. You can't move. You're
Mentally.
just sitting on the bypass and crawling
Aye.
at 5 mile an hour. But the other
Here's
reason
a-
traffic jams is because the council put loads of temporary lights out.
This is true. There's loads of roadworks in Edinburgh now as well. We were through Ocean Terminal on Monday night, and fucking hell, everywhere you go, roads with fucking temporary
My
lights
old man's
up.
adamant. It's because, mind years ago, I don't know if you do remember, but years ago, well over 10 years ago, there was like a referendum on whether there should be a congestion charge. And when it got asking folk, do you want to pay
KB.
money to drive into town? They said no. They went, well, fuck you then. And they just put loads of roadworks down. Used to be able to go for Thistle Street, from east to west, straight over Hanover, Frederick, Castle Street. Then they started saying, we can go along Hanover Street, but then, or the Thistle Street to Hanover Street, and then they turned the other one the other way. So you couldn't get over, you had to go up and round George Street and back round. Just fucked everything up for everybody.
Aye.
And he's adamant it's because they voted against the
It was just
the
as a big
congestion
fuck you.
charge.
But
There's now
Edinburgh's brutal for driving now.
they're doing emissions things now and that. I don't
Aye.
know when it's starting, but
I tell you what else is bad then was the fucking parking charges. So on Sunday night we went to Chow Praya, which is Castle Street, and we parked at Castle Terrace, or on the street outside Castle Terrace. So at 5:30 you have to pay for your parking to 6:30, I think, or
on a Sunday.
half.
Have they started Sunday
Aye,
charging?
aye. So we paid for like the last hour, and it carried over to like kind of the next morning. But it was £7 something for the fucking hour. You park in Dunfermline, it's like £1.50.
Aye, but there's a bit of walk through Edinburgh.
Aye, there's a bit of check through Edinburgh for there, can you? But you could probably park there and get the fucking train through for the price of fucking.
But I think
That's
is that
what,
no,
that's what they want you to do, though.
Aye, this is
Aye.
true. That's the point.
I don't know about you guys, but I prefer taking the train for Livy into the centre of town. Like if I'm going to a Hibs game or going out for dinner on that, just because I fucking hate driving in town. I really,
Aye.
really detest it, and especially like you said, Colin, like so many roadworks now. But see where they've got the the Golden Jobby, and you've got the roadworks at the top of Broughton Street. Like everything there is just what the fuck is going on. Like it was almost. I went. What was it? I think we were on the way back from the Royal Infirmary. Must have been about 6 weeks ago, and it was almost a case of shut your eyes and just hope for the best, because I realised I was in the wrong lane, and I'm going to put that down to not having the so-called local knowledge. But there was a person that was to my left where I wanted to be, who I discovered was also in the wrong lane, and everyone just fucking jockeyed and crossed over each other, and everyone going out fine. But aye, it's torture.
Aye, that's a bit mad there now at the New St James's, yeah. It's been roadworks there for about 5-6 years.
Aye. Mental. Right, next question. This is for Kaiser Soze. He says, why do Scotland fans change their Twitter handles and profile pictures to show support for anyone England is playing? And he's got Gorbachev and some Ukrainian flags as his profile.
Is it Gorbachev?
Yeah, it is.
Is it not just a fucking old Russian looking dude?
Has he got a big red mark on his head?
But it doesn't go as far back as the red mark on his head. I'm pretty sure it's Gorbachev. I could be fucking wrong. Of course, it's been known. But anyway, why did they do it? It's just banter, isn't it? Probably.
Xenophobia, isn't it?
Well, that's well.
Aye.
Aye. 150 Care Hamlin Hill says, which way round does an egg come out of a hen's ring piece? Pointy end or round end first? Did it ever come out sideways? Now, this I don't often go into the replies on the tweets, right? But this is one of my favourite replies because when you get the notification and somebody replying to the tweet, you don't see the tweet is replied to. It just pops up and it just says, they come out their fannies. That was from JP. I just thought that was like amazing. What a correction. So it depends. The scrambled eggs come out sideways. The other ones, like for boiled or poached, come out pointy end first, and omelettes are round. I think that's the way it goes. Then ask me about a quiche. Like, fuck knows how that comes out.
Have you seen the thing or the theory that if you were to hit a chicken, a fully grown chicken, obviously like dead, plucked, blah blah blah, if you were to hit it enough times, you could cook it with kinetic energy?
Oh, hold on a wee second. Does this mean I didn't need to buy a fucking air fryer?
Aye, but you're going to spend a lot of time slapping your chicken.
They changed there. To be fair,
I just wondered if you could cook an egg and if you could boil an egg in its shell using the same rationale.
What, just like rolling it in your, because you couldn't hit an egg obviously because
no,
I broke an egg picking it out of the cardboard box in the fridge the other day, taking it, and just as I gripped it, it just fucking broke in my hand.
I feel really sorry for your cock with that grip strength. Literally ripping the heat off it once more.
Just on that, are you meant to keep your eggs in the fridge?
Aye, well, I keep the eggs in the fridge.
Room temperature.
They didn't in the supermarket away. They're just out. But I'm sure if you on the box,
so you buy a fridge, you get the wee tray with it. But I'm sure I've read before you're not meant to. But then
I read something recently that said that you're not meant to keep your cucumber in the fridge, but everyone keeps it in the wee salad crisper.
Aye, I would keep cucumber in the fridge. What about ketchup?
Yours goes in the fridge.
Cupboard.
Ketchup's meant to go in the fridge, it says on it.
Once it's opened.
Aye, once it's opened. Right, Liam again, can jam? And then 150 Care Hamlin Hill, can a plum be plum and jam? So,
how does Bob Marley like his donuts?
With jamming.
With jamming.
Right, I'll move on from it. I came over and go with those ones. JP said, if you were born in London but moved here 40 years ago, are you still a fanny if you wanted England to win last night? Asking for a friend, geezer. So no, I think if you're English, you're
absolutely,
you're absolutely entitled to shout for them. If you were Scottish and had lived in England for 40 years, you'd still be wanting Scotland to win, wouldn't you? So
Well. How old is this guy? So say he's
Over
42.
40, I'm guessing.
Aye, so say he's 42. Say he moved to Scotland when he was young, and he feels more affinity with the Scots than he does with the English. Wait, hang on. What was the question?
Is it alright for him to support England?
If you were born in London but moved here 40 years ago, are you still a fanny if you wanted England to win last night?
Who said he's a fan?
It's no black and white though, is it? It's no.
It's black and white. Like he can go and support England. No problem.
Aye. I agree with that. That's fair enough. Ricky says, should we be called St Mirren Colts?
No, they should be called Hibs Colts.
Yes, that was the point I was about to make, Colin. You're spot on. If you think of the way that players develop, the Colts team graduate through the Colts team into the proper team. So St Mirren would be Hibs Colts in the scenario that we're talking about.
Aye.
Ken, what fucks me off?
Aye, loads of stuff.
Loads of stuff, and it's so I admittedly take very little interest in like stats and performances, and I didn't even realise the boy's name was it Jake Doyle Hayes?
Yep.
Until Matty mentioned it, I knew that we'd signed someone, and I just went, "Aye, fine. Like if he does well for Hibs, that's fine. That's brilliant." But there's still an element amongst the Hibs support who look at the fact that he plays for St Mirren and go, "Well, you must be fucking shite. He's not fucking good enough." One, give the boy a chance. Two, I trust the managerial, the recruitment setup to bring people into Hibs that like they've identified an area that they want to strengthen. Boom.
Yep.
That's it.
Now, I think I've tweeted the email from Hibs, which isn't like me. I didn't normally delete my Hibs emails. Oh, aye. Right. I've not deleted it. It says, welcome, Jake Doyle Hayes, and then 3 question marks. That's a weird email to send folk, eh? Like, it's not really a question. And if it is a question, we're not going to fucking answer it. Like, surely you just say, welcome, Jake Doyle Hayes.
Aye, all the best.
Aye. So, anyway. 150k in Hanlon Hill. Arsenal been trying to cut their costs by getting us to pay their players. No. Tony Lally, what do you think our third strip will be this year? And when it turns out to be black and white stripes, will we officially become St Mirren? It would be a fucking great bit of banter if we had a black and white style third kit.
See the new away strip? That's a wee bit like the one when they won the cup back in '87, is it? No, it's got a bit green in the collar, but they sort of it's white with thin black stripes they had back in '87. So maybe we've
good memory.
Do we have an unwritten strategic partnership with St Mirren?
We should have.
Like, is it possible to have a strategic partnership with someone that's in the same league as you?
I don't know.
Because that would make, like, I understand that the agreement between Hibs and Brighton isn't about an exchange of players. It was an exchange of ideas and trying to learn from one another and blah, blah, blah.
And players as well.
Are we supposed to get players of them?
Well, if you read into what the Brighton folks said about it and what Hibs said about it, right, and Hibs have kind of mentioned it subsequently, right, is they see like a pathway for a Hibs player, right? Say we take on a player at 15, right? They would go Hibs development, civil service rollers, who are one of our partners, Stenhousemuir, who are another one. I can't mind if we had somebody else. Hibs, right? So say they go civil service, Stenhousemuir, into the Hibs first team. Brighton as a pathway into the Premiership. So their career pathway, right? So the players nowadays want to play in England because that's where all the fucking money is.
Mm-hmm.
So Hibs sell it as, here's the pathway where you can do it. For Brighton, Hibs are like their Stenhousemuir, who are a team who are better than the ones around the bit. Like, so maybe Stenhousemuir is the wrong example, but they maybe say, I'm not wanting to play in the Championship. I want them to go to a top flight league, put them in at Hibs. They'll have a season at Hibs, and then we'll bring them into the back into Brighton, having had that experience. So we get that player who's good enough for our level and knocking on the door to a Premiership team. That's how they worded it. That's how Brighton have worded it. That's how Hibs have worded it.
So the elephant in the room then is the boy that's went to Aberdeen and the boy that's went to Hertz. What do you think about that? Because we never really touched on that, Lucy's question earlier.
I think we didn't need them. I didn't want them for when they're looking for those areas. So I said they didn't suit us. If they suited us for a left back, I think, and I can't remember the other boy was. But I think if we wanted them, we would have
got a pretty good compliment at left back already, haven't we?
Aye. I think we would have taken them if we'd been offered them and we wanted them. And I would imagine they were floated by us first anyway. So, that's what I make of that. But it's like, so we've got a partnership with Stenhousemuir. We didn't have to send all our young players to Stenhousemuir. They'll go to other clubs if it suits us as well. But just they are an easy option for us to send players to. And we didn't have to sell our players to Brighton. Like if Man United came in for one of our players, we couldn't go, no selling. You'll need to buy them for Brighton in 2 seasons because that's the only team we'll deal with. So just doesn't make any fucking sense moaning about them going to other teams. Anyway, and you just want to add into that?
No.
Yeah, good strike. 150k in Hanlon Hill. How are triple cooked chips, not just burnt chips?
This is a bit QI, yeah. Is this not because do you not cook them at like lower temperature or something? So to get it, I don't know, is it soft? It'll be soft on the inside but crispy on the outside. So you'll be cooking them at different. You'll be cooking it like low and then high, and you know what I mean. So you're not actually. They're getting cooked 3 times, but they're not just getting cooked to get burnt.
I think they're parboiled, oven baked for a bit, and then fried. Is what I think happens with them.
Is that a triple cooked chip?
Or they're fried twice. Depending on.
But you'll parboil it so they're soft. And you get them sort of fluffy on the inside.
Aye.
And then you'll fry it to get the crispiness on the outside.
You ever made the chips with Slimming World, which sounds like a fucking contradiction, right? But
so it look like
I can't say I've tried them, but that's what you do. Whenever you slice them all up, you parboil them for a bit, and then you spray them with a low fat cooking spray, and then you chuck them in the oven. But they're really nice. I would recommend them. Then I get the frozen ones in Iceland because I thought, if they've just done it the same technique, they'll be quite nice. They're fucking ganting. But if you make your own ones, they're decent. Right, Jay Caldwell. Now that Team 12 may sell Morelos, Tavernier, and a possible development fee for BG or Billy Gilmore, will the face painter eventually be getting paid?
Did you see the chat? Tavernier to Man United.
Fucking nonsense that.
Fucking hell! Like there's again. So I'm not drawing any lines or any links between Rangers royalty and the Tory party, but there seems to be a way that headlines are written in connection with Rangers that is just detached from reality. So what was the one that they had about like Lionel Messi set to leave Barca, something Alfredo Morelos? The way that it reads almost suggests that Rangers are in for Messi.
Aye, they did that with somebody else as well. I know the example you mean. I can't remember it exactly, but I think they were bumping Morelos for fucking 30 million at one point. The papers and saying that this, what was it, a Chinese club was coming in for
unnamed Chinese club, 9 million.
In fact, they did a named one, and the club went, no, we're no.
No, we've got, what is it? Because they've got like a foreign. They've got a limit on foreign players, and they went, we've already got a complement, so they can't come here.
There was somebody on Hibsnet worded it properly. It's basically they realised Tavernier on his value is only going down now because of his age, so they want to just go fucking say Man United and Arsenal or whatnot, and then you'll maybe end up at a Wigan
hopefully Hull or somebody will get him.
Hull. That's it at Bournemouth.
Here it is. Former Rangers target Lionel Messi set to leave Barcelona with Alfredo Morelos' future uncertain. What the fuck?
Who's Messi a Rangers target? Honestly, fucking hell. But to come back to the question, because they went bust, I don't think you can pick up the old debts.
It's the mental gymnastics required that they go through to distance themselves from the club and the business and the titles and the debts. It's actually to be applauded that they're able to navigate that minefield.
to get it. It's like Hearts fans saying they didn't show poppy money, They didn't bump the poppies, and we all fucking know that they did.
It wasn't me, it was the one-armed man.
Colin, any idea who actually paid that poppy debt in the end?
Was it no Tom Farmer? Was it no? That was the rumour.
That was the
kicking
rumour.
about.
Aye, definitely the
Definitely.
rumour, and we'll just repeat that. We don't know if it's true or not, but we're just going to repeat it.
Former Rangers target.
Former Rangers target, Sir Tom Farmer. Yeah, it was Hearts Poppy Debt. They fucking hate it when you wind them up about that as well, because they're the McRae's battalion stuff. That fuck them. Right, 150k in Hanlon Hill. What's your favourite podcast to do? Long, short, or quick bangers?
Well, mine's definitely isn't the Shortbangers, right? So what are the other two?
I don't know. It's a bit of a toss-up because I like talking shit and I like talking about Hibs.
Shortbangers is my favourite one to do. Like, we obviously get a laugh, but sometimes, like, some of the Longbangers ones that we've done recently with the guests on have been dead good. Kind of like the Cliff's one, for example. That was a great chat. Like, it was dead interesting. Like, Cliff was a good guest, and everybody's been on subsequently has been good guests as well. But you get sucked right into it, and obviously although we are making the podcast, we're obviously hearing it for the first time ourselves as well. When you have that conversation, like we didn't care what Cliff was going to say or anybody else was. I
don't care what I'm going to say half the time.
No, same here. So Shortbangers is my favourite. It's the funniest one for me. Like I like the wee tangents that it takes. So, and quick bang's good after the game, especially if you win. See the one we did after the semi-final.
Yeah.
That's the closest it felt like to walking into a pub after the game.
Aye.
Was that one, and that was really good.
Remember pubs.
Aye, remember pubs. Right, Ron Burgundy, with Super Lee no coming home, what's our strike force going to look like? Or is that too heavy a question? And he says, what does a dragon egg taste like? As an alternative question.
Peppery.
Is Griffiths definitely not coming home? Like, is that what? Has he just decided that for us?
He signed another year at Celtic.
Has he? Right.
Aye.
Oh, did he do that?
I
didn't think that was going to happen because he said it on the radio last week, and Lennon and that were on the day after saying, I think he's talking shite, basically, because he would be in there training with him now, even if he's...
Well, Lennon went for him, eh? Did you hear Lennon's
I did. I thought Lennon was really good, actually, and I was wanting to side with Griffiths, but then I heard Lennon the second time, and I thought, it was like he was talking about him during the last year, and they had the fitness coach in. They could go in every day of the week. They could do an hour each in pairs, and McGregor was in, and Brown was in, and Christie, and everybody, all the Scottish-based players were in every single day during lockdown. Griffiths didn't bore his arse one day, and then came in over a stone overweight.
Aye.
And I think Lennon just thought, and as he said, I signed him. I wanted him to do well, but just like selling Laston. I thought, fair enough.
When I'm allowed back in office, I'm definitely turning up more than a stone overweight, so I'm not going to slightly Griffiths for it.
I know.
A dragon egg, it's going to be hard boiled, isn't it? It's like fucking overdone. So
been slapped a few times.
Aye. 150k in Hanlon Hill. Do you think that a shite ejected from the International Space Station has ever hit the windscreen of a space shuttle before?
No. If it had, it would have vaporised the space shuttle.
So. Yeah.
There must be shite that's floating about in space. Like, they must empty the toilets. Do you think they bring the stuff back down?
I think
in space poo bags, John.
Space poo bags. Aye. In space, no one can hear you scream.
It'll be all tinfoil and futuristic.
I think that there was an Apollo mission, and I don't know if it was the one that actually landed on the moon or if it was one of the subsequent missions, but I'm sure that there's been human waste left on the moon.
Hearty bastard. Well, they'll be able to find the culprit, surely. It's not like when you go outside and somebody's left the dog shite and you don't know who's done it. If it's on the moon, there's only...
Just get a wee sniff. Oh, that's fucking Armstrong. Stinking bastard. No, I think it was something to do with the weight of the shuttle and the weight of like landers and whatnot. It had to be carefully calibrated for what they needed to get rid of to accommodate the moon rock and the other samples that they were taking back on board to bring back to Earth. But I don't know about, so like the Apollo 13 mission, there was a wee explosion in space, pardon the pun, but I wonder if there was any shite that was ejected into space as well as the oxygen and the other liquids and whatnot.
That's an interesting
I
thought.
mean,
It
could you
just-
imagine? Fuck me, like
It'd instantly freeze, though, wouldn't it? But then it'd be like fucking solid.
aye, like a frozen turd missile.
But it just all like kind of goes in on itself, like become like a fucking really solid, tiny mass.
I don't know, because I don't think the pressure would be the same. So you don't wear a spacesuit in space to protect you from pressure. It's the extreme temperatures. I think.
I've never been to space, so. I don't know.
Jink, do you think man landed on the moon? Can we have a conversation about that? Back in 1969, did man land on the moon?
Yes, they did. Yes.
I kind of agree with that. I think based on what I've watched on the TV and that, but why have we never done it again? Like, or have we? And we just didn't talk about it. Was it just like the Americans went up to do it to beat Russia to doing it, and they went fuck it, we won it. That's it, done.
They went TripAdvisor. Fuck all here. Is it 1 star?
But they never went the whole. They never went the whole way around though. There's no like landing on Earth and landing in Scotland and then going. It's just fields and that. But they never went to fucking Barbados or Australia. Get what I mean? Must have been another side to it. Maybe they never went round the other side of the moon.
Maybe they landed in the lunar equivalent of Paul Beth.
Aye, but they'll have seen it from fucking miles away as they approached it. You know what? They get a good view, and they go, "That all looks the same." But like if you were, the equivalent would be.
Earth all looks the same for the sky.
No,
really?
It doesn't. It doesn't because you fucking on a sea.
The water and that.
Land.
Aye.
If you landed in the Sahara Desert, that would look different than if you landed in fucking the Serengeti. So, when you look at the moon, it just goes. Well, we saw it from down there anyway through our telescope. It just all looked white and shite. Now we're here. It's much the same. Fuck all here. One star. Wouldn't recommend.
And the Russians just believed them. The Russians didn't know we were going to have a
Somebody's left a shite.
Full of shite. Planted their flag.
See if man didn't land on the moon. So you mentioned the space race there, Colin. If man didn't land on the moon, the Russians must surely have known. The Russians must have been able to go, that's fucking bullshit. I'm going to call you out on that.
Aye.
So if he never landed on the moon, why did Russia not go, I call bullshit? Why did no one else call bullshit?
Yeah, they did. They landed on the moon.
Yeah.
But, aye, in my opinion.
Why did the Russians just give up, though?
Because there's fuck all there.
They just took the Americans' word. Maybe the Americans said there's fuck all up there, but there's loads of stuff.
We'll prove you wrong.
Listen, lad.
We'll start digging. You did the dig, you fatties. Look at us. I don't care. Russians do the wee, the wee Russian dancing, the Cossack dancing with the kind of bending and kicking their legs out. Do you get what I mean? Imagine that in zero gravity. That'd be easy as fuck, but it looked fantastic. You could do it for ages. That's what I think the Russian astronauts would do.
That's the difference, eh? The Americans were up there playing golf, and the Russians were up there having a shite,
digging and dancing,
drinking vodka.
Matt Hybie said, "Here's a question for you, Lawrence Shankland," which isn't really a question. Kind of, you're being pedantic. He has put a question mark after it.
Aye, but he didn't put 3, and we know that 3 is the minimum.
3 is the minimum you need for it. Right, presumably, would you take Lawrence Shankland as presumably a replacement for Kevin Nisbet, or to play alongside him?
It would depend how much he was going to cost, I think.
I could sit on the fence here and say if Hibs signed him, fine, I'd be all right with it. I saw him. The difficulty that I saw with him when Hibs played Dundee United was that Dundee United appeared disjointed, but Hibs had more balance in their strike partnership or front three or whatever. So if we were to lose Nisbet, for example, Shankland would appear to be the logical replacement. And I think we could probably do a similar job, or you'd hope that he fit the same sort of mould that we had with Nisbet. Young player, trying to prove themselves, maybe lost their way a wee bit. Come in at Hibs, score a few goals, get your next move.
Aye.
A reciprocal agreement.
I think I wouldn't be too fast. If it wasn't costing too much money, I'd be similar to John. I'd be quite happy to give him a bash. But it's a funny one because when he was flying at air and that a couple of years, nobody really came in for him. You know, there was loads of rumours and the January and all that, and nobody was bothered about him. There must be something about the guy that
seemingly did Dundee United not pay quite a bit for him to get him from air.
Paid a lot of money for him.
So it could be, and
wages, etc. as well.
aye, they've got Dun United. They've got a Raj wages to turnover ratio. So I wonder how much Shanklin fits that. Maybe it's that Hibs aren't going for him or haven't gone for him because he'd just be too expensive. The outlay would be far greater than the return that you could ever hope to get from him.
Yeah. Right, Ron Burgundy said, "Does Staffy fart to the mouth or snog Craig Levine?" You take the Doug fart, wouldn't you?
I didn't like guys with beards.
Right, we're almost done. I think we're into the last few questions here. Right, so the words. Following the revelations that Curvy Nisbet dreams of licking Dairy or various other cheese-based spreads from international footballers' thighs. What was that revelation?
I honestly can't remember. I've got a vague recollection of tweeting back and forth for a couple of minutes, but I can't remember what it was about.
Right, well, there you go. Which food substance would you be prepared to attempt to lick from Alan McGregor's thighs, and how successful would you be?
No, I was hoping you were going to ask me to name a player. I was going to go like Alex Scott or somebody, but I'm not taking Alan McGregor.
You've got Alan McGregor, and you have to take a food substance. You're not going to get anything. Yeah, I would go for the chicken that needed the batter in before it's cooked, because I reckon by the time you got there, it's probably burnt, if anything.
Alan McGregor's anger when I cooked it.
Just the heat of his rage.
Alan McGregor,
I fucking chicken. Oh, it's cooked.
Gas mark 1690.
Aye. Right, I'll move on. Australia, this is from Mixer99. Australia is estimated to have 50 million kangaroos and has a population of around 25 million. If we assume 15 million are adults between 18 to 60 and might win a square go, it is not unreasonable to think the kangaroos could take over on a 3-to-1 ratio if they could just get themselves organised.
There's logic in there.
I can't remember if we spoke about this or a similar question. We definitely had a similar one, but it might have been cats rather than kangaroos.
Aye, it does ring a bell.
Aye, we had it came up on YouTube or Facebook or something the other day about the boy punches a kangaroo that's trying to attack his dog.
Aye.
And the kangaroo kind of stands up and is ready for the square go.
He's at the Queensbury rules.
It's like this when his juke's up. The boy just belts it square in the jaw and it fucks off. The kangaroo thinks twice about it. It's about as Australian a thing as you could possibly expect to see.
I don't know if it applies to all hire vehicles for international travellers when they go to Australia. But when we were over, me and the wife, back in 2017, we were told you can't drive at night in your camper van because of kangaroos just running out in the middle of the road and bloatering you, basically.
They fucking hate camper vans, the way they're well known for it. Like they like minis.
They like a wee Toyota Prius.
Utes, they like they're one of the American cars, and the Utes, they like them, but no a camper van. Right, Random Dribble said, "Why is there anything at all?"
What?
Why is there anything at all?
If only Brian was here to answer this. What's the fucking point? The futility of life. Why is there anything at all? Why are we here?
There is no reason. We're just here by happy accident. Just fucking happy accident, and however many billion to one chance that things happened, we're here for no good reason, and eventually the sun will fucking stop burning, everything will be fucking imploded, and that'll be that. There's no good reason for this.
I watched a video with the boy, the scientist who Neil deGrasse Tyson the other day, and he was talking about things being 13, visible objects in the sky. So you maybe have to use like a really powerful telescope or whatever. And he said the things that you can see that are 13 billion light years away or whatever, that's the visible light you can see. Because the universe is expanded, they are even further away. So even if we wanted to try and travel somewhere, we're fucked because it's probably about 17 billion times further
than it
ever was.
If you travelled at the speed of light towards these things, you would never reach them because they are moving away from you quicker than that. Because of the speed that the universe is expanding, you would never fucking get there. That's mental. Things like that blow my mind. Like you hear things like that and you think, how the fuck? What? And the universe is expanding. But what does it expand into? Well, because they can see where it was and where it is now and compare, so they know what speed it is moving away. It's like the thing about, if the Earth just stopped and you were flying 800 mile an hour because of the speed that we fucking travel through space, and we didn't even fucking notice.
They also have bigger whiteboards than you, Colin, to write this stuff down on.
And they've got two though.
Big massive fucking brains. Right, random dribbles again. If God exists and he or she revealed themselves, would people who believe in God actually accept God as God?
No, because there is no such thing as truth anymore. There's only opinion and whoever shouts loudest.
I think God would, if you believe it and you went along with that logic, I think if the second coming came, like you said, Colin, folk would just go, fuck off. Where's the trick? It would be like, see them on
What's the
TikTok and
catch?
go, just fucking edited that. Like, it's shite. So I didn't think there'd be any way. Or they get written off as a fucking crackpot, is the other thing. I mean, can you imagine they would have to come down and say, right, I'm going to click my fingers and like fucking COVID's gone, right, and do that, and then, or every country in the world's go, right here, boom, and everybody went, fucking hell. There would need to be something on that scale to convince people that they were special, like just curing famine or drought or fucking cancer. Like, there's no cancer now. Anybody who has it today, lucky day, you've no go to anywhere.
And guaranteed, somebody on Twitter will still say, that doesn't look like Griffiths signing for Hibs.
Aye.
Come on.
Aye.
They've just not to keep them happy.
Fucking
The
didn't believe
best,
it.
the best depiction of God, I think, is in Irvin Welsh's book Acid House, Grant and Star Cause.
Aye. Pat
I
Stanley plays
created
it.
you cunts in my own image.
Aye.
Fuck you, you're claimed. Turn you into a fly.
What is the colour of a mirror for the random dribbles?
Fuck.
It's glass backed by silver, pretty much, isn't it? Like a reflective silver, I think.
So do you see yourself in the
black
glass,
hole.
or do you see yourself on the reflective surface?
The reflective surface, the glass is just like I could to protect it, I think.
Because we can't be trusted with nice things.
You can't. But I don't know. Are there any questions that cannot be answered?
No.
Well, there's the thing, right? So this is what, like, it's talking about paradoxes, isn't it? That's what paradoxes are effectively like a kind of if God can do everything, could he create a rock so big he couldn't lift it? Is like a famous one.
Could he create a what?
A rock so big that he couldn't lift it. So if he could do anything, could he create something so big that he couldn't lift it?
If he did, he wouldn't be God. Or if they, let's not assume that they're God's gender. If they could, then they surely wouldn't be God.
Oh,
is that further
you can't
deepening the paradox?
You can. It's like everything I say is a lie. Is another kind of statement. If you say everything I say is a lie, and try to get your head around that, because
that's
that,
lie.
Yeah. So, anyway, right, let's move on to it. Fucking QI. QI.
But they give the answers on there, though.
QI.
We just broach the subject and then go, fuck those.
QI do the same thing. It's just Stephen Fry says it and you believe it.
That's true.
Because he's got a bit of credibility, do you think? Is it Sandy Toksvig that's on it now? Instead.
You need to watch that what you just done there. If you can't listen to the podcast, you need to watch the podcast to see that.
Number 73. Right. Alex, if someone asked you to list your top 10 favourite smells, could you do it quite easily or would you really have to think about it? I'd really have to think about it.
Reply and say, your ma.
Number one. Caterer's Corner said, what's the biggest colour? What's the biggest colour? If there's a funny answer to that, I try to think about whether there'd be like a funny kind of
something in French, eh?
Something blew up or as a kid. Green. Anyway, green. I'll go for green because fucking Hibs.
Bear in the big blue house. Big blue. Aye, blue.
Blue. Right, I'll say green. Colin, in advance on blue or green?
No, not idea. That's why can any question be answered. That's one I can't answer.
Which colours on the outside of the rainbow? Because that's
Red.
That's bigger than the inner rainbow, isn't it?
So are we talking science now, like wavelengths and whatnot?
Well, effectively. So there will be a scientific answer, but if you look at a rainbow, it's got to be a good barometer, isn't it? Because there's the ones on the inside of the rainbow are smaller than the ones on the outside. So whatever's on the are you going red because of the Richard of York game battling vein way of remembering the colours?
No, I'm
Or
going red and yellow.
It did go through my head, like.
Aye. All right. Lucy Van Pelt, how long ago did these days actually start?
Sorry, repeat the question.
How long ago did these days actually start? These days. It was a while back, wasn't it?
Got to be at least a couple of weeks ago.
Aye. There was Grant Stott. This isn't really related that much. Grant Stott is he on radio, BBC Radio now?
Aye.
So on Twitter, he had asked for your favourite song mentioning days, and it reminded me of his letter. That somebody says, I can't remember the name of this TV programme, but the theme tune went Monday, Tuesday, da da da, Wednesday, Thursday, da da da, Thursday, Friday, da da da, and then but it was signed from Dappy Hayes. I think about that letter a lot. Right, Lord Oscar Lucan said, "Your wife and your mum swap bodies to get them back to normal. You have to sleep with one of them. Which one?"
No. Have you
Who
seen
are these people?
Well, your wife is who you married. Your mum's who gave birth to you.
Like
but see, when you think about it, you've touched both their vaginas. I
was a cesarean.
Oh, were you? I wasn't.
Aye, but you were also a pervert, Colin, so it still stands.
That's right, aye.
It need to be your wife, because after when they're back to normal, you'd have to look them in the eye after.
Aye.
So that for me, that's you need to. It need to be your wife.
Well, that's an interesting slant on the question. Could you remind me exactly what the question was?
Yes, your wife and your mum swap bodies. To get them back to normal, you have to sleep with one of them. Which one?
So if it's just bodies, how do they swap? How do you just swap bodies?
No, it's
Right.
totally made up.
Aye, you can't. There's no.
No, I didn't mean like
brain
literally.
transplant by a magician that went, fucking shag one and we'll reverse it.
So my mom's brain and my wife's head, and vice versa. Is that what we're saying?
Just your mum
bodies.
with your wife's body, and
So under for the neck,
wife with your-
neck down.
Aye, but so soul, if you believe in the soul, and memories and fucking brain, etc., remain the same. Personalities, attitudes, everything, right? All associated things.
No. I can't do that. I couldn't pump my mom while I'm looking at my wife. Like, I've had enough therapy. I didn't need any more.
But would you do the other way around? To, like,
You
no,
can't do
because
that,
then you're
right?
looking
That's
at your
the only
mom while you're. No.
all right, Lucy Van Pelt. Last question tonight: is a song with no words and no tune still too much to expect from the people in the East Stand? Well, the East Stand's not had any fucking singing for long enough, has it? So
They're moving back there, though, the singing section. Is that right? Have I made that up?
they're moving back there. Aye.
Right.
I think it's the best place for it in the East anyway. Like, there was a bit of move to move it to the behind the goals and that, but fuck it. I always thought the East was always where the singing was.
Lower, didn't they? They wanted
Aye.
it behind the goals, but they didn't want the bit they got because it's sort of in the corner up in the, out the way. But
Aye.
they wanted it behind the goals in the lower tier. But then you get all the family stuff and that.
Yeah.
So,
What was the song that came out for the East Stand? It was during the Fenley era. It was like. Oh, how did it go? There wasn't any singing. It was just like folk.
So folk did it with the European trip. I can't mind the tune.
How did it go?
It was somebody just made up on the European trip, and it just but it was just like do.
You Da, 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 da. Na, 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 na. Da, na, 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 na.
Something
Aye,
like that.
Fiends.
Aye.
Bring that back. That
Bring
was
that
brilliant.
back. Aye. Somebody make another one up. That's aye. Right, we're going to the football tomorrow, John, to see the Hibs.
Yes, we are. You've asked me out on a mandate, and I'm
Aye.
really looking forward to it.
Civil service roller, so if you see us there, come and say hello. Unless you didn't like us, and we'd rather no bother. If you want to come and tell us we're shit, don't bother. We know it already. If you want to say nice things to us, then fucking rock up.
I'm really interested in folk coming up and telling us their COVID vaccine conspiracy theories.
What's well, I was going to ask you the best one, but I'll not ask you because you alienate listeners and stuff like that. John, with folk that you don't like. There's all sorts of crazy shit going about with the vaccines and that, but we've not been asked about vaccines, so we'll move on. Anyway, right, back on Monday with Longbangers.
Who have we got this Monday, Matthew?
You've got Jamie Montgomery coming on. That's been on Longbangers a few times, and I think he's going to do his top 5 foreigners to played for Hibs, which will be interesting. So if you're coming on, have a wee think of your own top 5 foreigners, and we'll talk about them. And I'd recommend going to listen to the Longbangers for Monday night with Ewan, because that was dead good, talking about the players, especially the shit ones. I imagine, like remembering how shite some of the players that we've had are.
I saw Shefke Kuchi come up. Or at least I saw him mentioned on the Twitter feed.
Mm-hmm.
He was torture.
Oh, aye.
Did we actually get Shefke Kuchi, or did we get his lookalike Big Brother or something?
Fuck knows.
Genuinely professional footballer, I think. They couldn't control a ball, couldn't trap a ball.
You said he had a season at Newcastle, eh? Like Newcastle paid $1 million for him. Was that right?
Did you see the day that Middlesbrough are going to pay $1 million for Uche?
Uche, fuck me. That's when you ken the game's gone.
Rumoured to be. It was in the Daily Record, so you know that's
That's
true.
what says everything about that league, though.
Aye.
It's just a battering ram. That's all you
Aye.
are. You didn't need to play football in that league.
Anyway.
It's about the longest throw in. That's the competition.
That sounds like a film, man. Like a kind of arty film, The Longest Throw In. Anyway, right. Time to call it a night. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you on Monday.
Dry county line, I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.